I'm in love. I'm obsessed. And I don't even feel guilty about it.
Obsessions are not always bad, especially when it's an obsession with your favorite radio station, Diamond 88.7 FM. We're obsessed with enhancing your radio experience. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
On Diamond 88.7 FM, we give credible, factual, balanced reports at all time. Join us as we take you around the globe on the world news. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
From the news desk of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, this is news around the world.
In the headlines, Senate reverses standing order amendment on leadership elections. Jonathan responds to fresh calls to contest 2027 presidential poll. Fani Kayode confirms appointment as ambassador to South Africa. On the foreign scene, China announces suspended death sentences for former defense ministers. In business, federal government seals landmark Airbus deal in France. In entertainment news, Davido announces break from music. And in sports news, Germany defender Niklas Süle to retire from football at 30. A very wonderful evening to you, and thank you for staying with us on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. This is news across the world. I am NEDU OKORIE. You can also listen to us via our website on www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on YouTube at Diamond FM Ilorin. We bring you details of the news after this break. Do stay with us.
You ugly. Everybody they post picture for social media. You too they put picture.
Hey, wait, this picking no even fine. Yeah.
See this bro guy, now your generation they here.
You probably don't know how much your words hurt, but cyberbullying is real. Words hurt, whether it's in person from typing or behind a screen. Just a comment or unnecessary share from someone you know or from a complete stranger can hurt. Words can even end lives. Think before you type. Stop cyberbullying today.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
And you're welcome back. Now the news in detail. The Senate has reversed its recent amendment to the standing orders, effectively reopening the contest for key leadership positions in the 11th National Assembly and potentially creating room for fresh contenders in the race for Senate President in 2027. The decision followed a motion sponsored by the Senate leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, who stated that upon further legislative and constitutional review, the earlier amendments could result in constitutional inconsistencies and unintended tensions. With the reversal, all duly elected senators who are now eligible to participate in the elections of presiding officers without the prior requirement of taking the oath of office and allegiance. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has indicated a possible interest in returning to the 2027 presidential race, saying he will consult widely before making any decision. Jonathan made the remark while responding to a large crowd of supporters under the banner of the Coalition for Jonathan 2027, who marched to his office to urge him to contest the next presidential election. Addressing the group, the former president emphasized patriotism, peace, and the need for greater youth participation in the electoral process. He also expressed concern over Nigeria's persistently low voter turnout despite its large voting population, urging young people to obtain their voters' card and become more politically engaged. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed Friday, May 8, for a hearing in a suit seeking to stop Jonathan from contesting the 2027 presidential election.
Contest the next elections. Presidential race is not a computer game, but I've heard you, and I'll consult widely. But the most important thing is in Nigeria that the young people will have hope. In Nigeria that will plan for our grandchildren. These countries, people travel abroad to go and enjoy. These things don't happen overnight. Leaders after leaders plan for the grandchildren and build their country. So every year you see things being added and added until they are in this kind of semi-paradise world there.
And that was the voice of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Still in the news, former Aviation Minister Chief Femi Fani-Kayode has announced his appointment as Nigeria's ambassador designate to South Africa following approval by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In a statement on Thursday, Fani-Kayode said the appointment came after he formally requested redeployment from an earlier posting to Germany, citing personal and professional considerations. According to him, his request was based on his desire to serve in a country he had never visited, but which aligns closely with his convictions on international relations and Pan-African engagement. The governor of Katsina State, Diko Rada, has said there are moles within the government, security agencies and local communities who supply information to bandits, aiding them in carrying out criminal activities in the state. Speaking in an exclusive interview on national television, Governor Rada explained that the fight against insecurity is being undermined by individuals who leak critical security information to bandits. He specifically mentioned a notorious bandit identified simply as Mohammed, narrating how informants within government circles and communities allegedly provide him with intelligence that helps him evade arrest. Speaking on negotiations with bandits, despite opposition to the idea by some governors, Governor Rada explained that although he personally does not support negotiating with bandits, some communities requested permission to engage them in dialogue. A member representing Kaduna North Federal Constituency, Mohammed Bello El-Rufai, son of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, has announced his resignation from the All Progressives Congress APC. In a statement on Thursday, Bello El-Rufai announced his decision to join the African Democratic Congress ADC alongside his counterpart representing Kudan Makafi Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, Umar Ajilo, who resigned from the People's Democratic Party PDP. 3 other lawmakers also switched political parties, joining both the ADC and the NDC. They include Suleiman Richifa, representing Soba Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, who left the PDP for the ADC, and Abdul Hakim Ado from Kano State, who left the ADC for NDC. And that's it on the local scene. The news across the world is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. We're now going to break, and when we return, we bring you foreign, business, entertainment, and sports news. Do stay with us.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
And you're welcome back from that break. The news is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. We now move on to the foreign scene. Two former Chinese defense ministers have been handed suspended death sentences on corruption charges with all the personal assets confiscated. A military court on Thursday sentenced Wei Fenggu and Li Shangfu to death with 2-year reprieve. This means their death sentences will be commuted to life imprisonment after 2 years, without the possibility of sentence reduction or parole. The announcement follows the recent ousting of several top military figures in the country amid a sweeping anti-corruption crackdown. Still on the foreign scene, former president of Cameroon's National Assembly and long-time political figure Kavaye Yegui Jibril has died at the age of 86. His passing comes just 50 days after he relinquished his position as Speaker, which he occupied for a record 34 years. First elected as Parliament Speaker in 1992, Jibril was a key figure in President Paul Biya's authoritarian regime and played a pivotal role in Cameroon's political landscape. As a prominent supporter of Biya under his leadership, Jibril permitted the 2008 constitutional reform, which resulted in the removal of presidential term limits, allowing Biya to stand for re-election indefinitely. And that's the news on the foreign scene. We now move on to our business news.
FM Business News.
In our business news this evening, as part of follow-up efforts to the federal government's approval for the establishment of a national aircraft leasing company to support domestic airlines, a delegation from Nigeria's aviation sector has secured deals with Airbus and other aviation institutions in France. The delegation, led by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, visited France to explore opportunities for collaboration, capacity development, and aircraft acquisition. The delegation toured Airbus narrow-body and wide-body aircraft assembly plants, as well as helicopter assembly facilities, where Airbus executives showcased some of the latest jets and helicopter technologies. The company also expressed interest in expanding investment opportunities in Nigeria and the wider West African aviation market. And that's it on business news. We now move on to entertainment news.
Diamond FM Entertainment News.
In entertainment news, Grammy-nominated Nigerian singer Davido has announced he's taking a break from making music. In a viral clip from a live stream in Osun State, the singer responded to fans eager for new songs, saying he is currently on a musical break. The 33-year-old artist, who is currently in Osun State to support the re-election campaign of his uncle, Governor Ademola Adeleke, earlier in the week inaugurated the Mole Youth Mobilization Campaign Council to support Adeleke's re-election bid. The Afrobeat star also announced plans to enroll in a one-year master's program in political science at a UK university next year. And that's it in entertainment. We now move on to our sports stories.
Diamond FM Sports News.
And in our sports news, Nasarawa Amazons head coach Christopher Danjuma has vindicated his team's defeat to Robo Queens in their final match of the 2025-2026 Nigeria Women Football League NWFL regular season. The Amazons lost 2-1 to Robo Queens at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon, Lagos on Wednesday. Danjuma, however, said the game was a test of the squad's strength and a preparation for the next competition ahead of the NWFL Super 6 playoff tournament. Meanwhile, Nasarawa Amazons will battle with NWFL defending champions Bayelsa Queens, Edo Queens, River Angels, Abia Angels, and Robo Queens in the playoff tournament. Still in sports news, Borussia Dortmund defender Niklas Süle has confirmed his retirement from professional football at the end of the season, bringing his career to a close at the age of 30. The German national football team international made his decision following a knee injury suffered in last month's Bundesliga match against TSG 1899 Offenheim. Süle initially feared he had suffered a third anterior cruciate ligament ACL rupture, an injury that has already disrupted his career in the past, although medical tests later confirmed he had avoided an ACL tear. As the defender said, the scare changed his outlook on continuing in the sport. And that ends our sports news. And with that, we've come to the end of news across the world. But before we go, here are the major highlights. Senate reverses standing order amendment on leadership election. Jonathan responds to fresh calls to contest 2027 presidential election. Fani Kayode confirms appointment as ambassador to South Africa. On the foreign scene, China announces suspended death sentences for former defense ministers. In business news, federal government seals landmark Airbus deal in France. In entertainment, Davido announces break from music. And in sports news, we told you that Germany defender Niklas Süle to retire from football at 30. Did you know that on this day in 1946, Albert Macaulay, a prominent Nigerian nationalist, politician, and engineer, who founded the new Nigeria Democratic Party, died at the age of 81? Now you know. And for news coverage or information about happenings around you, kindly contact Diamond FM newsroom number on 0916 062 7526 0916 062 7526. On behalf of the production crew, I am NEDU OKORIE. Thank you for listening to your Shining Supreme station, and do stand by for other interesting programs and the news across the world in Yoruba. A wonderful evening to you.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, Take am. Hey, thank you, Oga Luther. I don't dey kampe.
Luther, brand of Artemata and